Welcome to your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss issues around the transformative power of education and how education actually changes lives. And today we are discussing a very, very important aspect of education. How does education brings about leadership? And we are discussing generally issues to do with education and leadership. And my name is Clement Lizio. And today, joining the show is Faith Ngala, an education expert and seasoned development leader, and Nonhlanhla Makosi, a rising student leader who is using her voice to shape her community. Faith, welcome to the show. Nonhlanhla, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Clemens. Thank you for having us, and thank you very much.
Yes. Fantastic. Probably, starting off the show, let me start with you, Nonhlanhla. Take us back to your school days. How did your education journey shape the leader that you're becoming today?
Thank you, Clemens. During my school days in high school, I used to take leadership. I was a prefect actually. I'm someone who likes participating in everything. I believe there is nothing which is impossible with me. I like trying new things and all of them. So when I was still in primary level, I used to do public speaking, doing poems. I used to do drums. I was also so much into sports. So all these activities, it groomed my public speaking. It boosted my confidence at primary level. Going to secondary, I was a prefect also at secondary. So I was also in a singing group. We used to travel, going to other schools. I was also in a debate club. We used to travel, going to other schools in town.
You were literally doing everything at school.
Yes. And people used to ask me, how do you make it in class? You are the best outside the classroom. You are also doing the best. So that was all about having confidence in everything I'm doing, believing in myself that I can make it. Nothing can stop me. I can do it. So I was having so much belief in myself. So by so doing, it boosted my confidence. It boosted my leadership skills. It boosted my communication skills. So from high school. And then I'm now at university.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Probably let me come to you, Faith. What role did your early learning experience, your early school experiences play in preparing you for the kind of public leader that you are today?
Thank you, Clemens. It's interesting that you're taking me back to my school days. That's a long time ago. Because I have been 20 years in the education sector now, leading different education programs. But yes, definitely, my passion for what I do today came from my early days and early experiences. When I was 13 years old and I was facing exclusion from school, I was about to become a statistic of one of those girls who could not make it into secondary school.
Interesting. You say you were about to become a statistic. Probably you can explain to us that part.
Being a 13-year-old, having flying colors at grade 7, I was obviously due to go to Form 1. But it was about not to become possible because of the different needs which were there for me to get into secondary school. My parents at that moment could not afford to send me to school. And it only happened because a whole system came behind me to get me into secondary school. And that exactly what I think shaped the woman I am today and what I do every day today. I feel that life is about creating opportunities. Life is about unlocking potential in every child. I look at education as a right for every child. And everything I'm doing every day, I'm thinking, how can I make it better for the next child, for every child, in a community, in a country. And I think my leadership style or what I do today has also been influenced by how the whole community rallied behind me, how the system like propelled me from one stage to the other. So as I do my work every day, I'm thinking, who should I be doing this with? I've realized that collaborative working, doing things together, is what can make education a reality for every child.
And especially for the girl child.
Especially
for the girl child. But let me start with you again on this one. Do you feel that young women's voices actually are being heard in decision-making spaces today, especially when we are looking at community level? Do you think that young voices, especially from the girls, are being taken into consideration?
Yeah, the voices of young girls, they are being taken into consideration, especially nowadays. The reason why my voice has been heard in the community. So for a girl child, actually, before I went to university, I was serving as an agriculture guide in the community. So I was working with the community, working with different stakeholders, working with traditional leaders, working with the headmen, working with parents and so forth. So what I have realized for a girl child, you know, we are Africans, we have our own belief, we have our own culture, and we believe our
beautiful culture for that, for that matter.
And we like it. So in our culture, a girl child to stand in front saying something, it wasn't something being taken into consideration. But I'm happy nowadays a girl child is having a room to say out their voices. For a girl child to be heard in the community, they have to be humble. You can be heard. You have to humble yourself. You have to dress well. You just have to follow the norms, the culture. You know, in the community we have the culture that we are following. We have culture and norms that we have to follow. If you can do that as a girl child, your voice will be heard. You get support from the community. As for me, talking from the experience, first time I felt the rejection from the community. But I didn't give up. I kept on fighting for my voice to be heard, for my ideas to be seen, for my good works to be exposed. So I kept on talking to them in a humble way. I kept on begging for a room.
Demanding your space.
Yes, I kept on demanding my space until one day the councillor called a meeting and I was given a room to speak out. From then,
and how did it feel? How did you feel?
I was very happy because I knew that once I say out my voice, the change is going to be there. They will understand who I am. They will understand the vision that I was having. They will understand the ideas. They will understand how eager I was to transform my community to a better sustainable community. They will understand how best do I want to serve my community as a girl child. And definitely it happened. I was given a room for the first time. I was given the room for the second time to present before the chief. Yes, that's when I managed to say out. It was we were having 48 men and I was the only lady.
Oh,
yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes. Coming to you, Faith, on the same question, what is your perspective? Do you think the voices of the young ladies, the voices of the young women are being heard in decision making, especially looking at both community level or even in higher decision making corridors?
I really feel, Clemens, that the voices of women are being heard. We are not where we want to be in terms of creating spaces.
Probably would discuss where you want to be.
Creating spaces for those voices to be heard. But I feel like we have made a lot of traction. I think as a country, in our communities. And it all starts with education, actually. When we have women who are qualified, who are educated enough to sit in some of those tables.
Maybe I have to cut you short there. We'll come back to that. We just want to take a short break. This is your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss the transformative power of education itself. And we are discussing today the issues of leadership. How does education bring about leadership? Don't go away. This is your show, The Power of Education. Welcome back. This is your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss none other than the transformative power of education. And before we went to the break, Faith, you were explaining us the issue of women being heard, the issue of the voice of the young, ladies being heard. And you had actually said you are not where you want to be. Of course, we are going to discuss where you want to be. Maybe you want to continue.
Definitely. I think Clemens, right now, what I really want to emphasize is the power of our stories as women, and how we need to normalize telling our stories. I think when we tell our stories for what they are powerful enough. That is what really enables our voices to be heard as women. And I've realized that all the time I tell my story powerfully, there are many other girls and women who identifies with that story. And when you then have more girls or young women rallying behind you, who identifies with that story, that voice grows. And when that voice grows, it becomes, more of a movement, because you have got more people behind you telling the story. So the key issue is in starting to just tell the story. There are so many rich stories out there of women, how they have really conquered different
untold
stories. And we want those stories to be told. Every woman to just have the confidence to tell their story, and that is what can help us to have the voices held. Like Nonhlanhla in their own space, we are influencing in different spaces, and this is what really can help us. And I know we are saying we are not where we want to be, because sometimes we look at some tables and thinking they are more important than others. But every table is important. The table of a woman who is in the community, the woman who is in the school, in the classroom, the woman who is leading a school, the woman who is in policy making. So if all those stories are told and we don't keep them to ourselves, we can be able to have this powerful force of women voices telling the story of what's possible and what can be done for as many children as possible to go to school, especially the girls.
So what practical steps helped you, Faith, in navigating the common challenges, the common barriers that are being faced by women in leadership? Issues to do with confidence building, gaining access and recognition.
Thank you, Clemens. I think for me the first step was just being comfortable with my story, knowing that it's unique, and there's no one else who has had similar experiences,
and there's no one else who can tell it better.
Indeed. And that has really helped me building the confidence, and to see how much that story had influenced many other, girls, younger girls, inspired other younger girls, inspired other younger women to really, do what they can do best and unlock the full potential within them. And I think the issue of intentionality as well is a big one. Just being clear of who do you want to be, dreaming big for yourself and for others. For yourself and your community. I believe that I was raised by the community. And for me, I would always think that what the ideal community I want to be able to see. And that way, it really helped me to conquer any mountain, because I'll be feeling like this is Faith me, but how many other faiths are behind me in the same community I came from, in my country, in my village, in my district. And that really helped me to, to jump from one leaf to the other because I felt like there's much more to be done. But I think building a community of people who believe in the same cause also really helps in terms of growing as a leader, because people will then help you, other women will help you to open doors, which otherwise you will not have been able to open. So just building a community around you of people who believe in the same vision, and making sure that whatever table you sit on, you make the best use of that opportunity, which you'll be having. I've realized that it really helps.
Is it the same? Is it the same with you? Any different thinking around to the same question?
Yeah, she has said it, but I just want to add some. Just know, you mustn't give up. A leader is someone who doesn't give up. As long as we are having a vision, as long as we are having objectives that needs to be accomplished at the end of the day, you have to stick on that. Whatever you start, make sure you finish it with positive results. So you have not to give up, no matter how much you face the challenges. I believe challenges make us stronger. Challenges always make us stronger, and without challenges we won't be able to keep on moving. So we need to conquer the challenges. We need to not stop until we make a change. So
there is a generally people always ask to then say, do you think enough is being done to make sure that women are in leadership? But I would want to ask it in a different way and say, do you think women are doing enough to get into this position of leadership? And what is the role of education in all this?
A tough question, Clemens, and I want to shift the responsibility from just women. It's about the whole environment. Is it supportive enough to get women to be in these positions of leadership? And to your point, it has to start with education. I think right now we are talking about millions of children out of school. The majority of those millions are girls who are supposed to be women leaders. So this is potential which we might lose if the systems, the policies, everyone don't do anything. So I feel that as much as women can put a lot of effort, systems, policies, everyone should be supportive of this agenda and make it possible for the women. And I feel education is always the starting point. For us to have women leaders in various levels, leading schools, leading institutions, leading governments, it has to start with them, getting a basic education and getting the right qualifications. So supportive systems, supportive policies, supportive communities is what really we need to be able to call for women to be able to achieve their full potential. But coming back to the women themselves, I think they also have a role to play when they look at, who do they want to be, really accepting that they have got a huge responsibility and a role to play in terms of leadership and transforming everything around them and how things are
fantastic done. There. Let me cut you short. We are taking a break. This is your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss the transformative effects of education. And today we are discussing issues around the leadership. Don't go away. Welcome back to your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss, the transformative effects of education. And today we are discussing issues to do with leadership. And Nonhlanhla, coming to you. You work very closely with girls, peers in your school and in your community. How do you help them see leadership as something that is within their reach? How do you help the young ladies How do you help the young girls to see leadership as something that is within their reach?
Okay, thank you so much. As a student at university, I'm on my first year, and I'm in SRC Student Representative Council as the Minister of Academic Affairs.
Fantastic.
Yes.
It's good I'm talking to real leaders.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm also a peer educator of MSU. So what normally I'm doing, I have platforms where I clear out, say, my voices, my ideas. As a leader, I'm the role model.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the role model to them. I say out my ideas, I say out my voices, and I'm also able to identify my strengths of my peers. I identify the strength. If I identify the strength of someone, then I try by all means to mentor her into leadership. Yes. I also encourage collaborating teamwork.
Yes.
Yes, I work closely with my peers in school, even in the community. In the community, what I do, I normally go to schools for climate change sections. I go to high schools. I can even identify a child. I can even identify a talent. I can even identify their strength. I can see, and I start building them from the ground. I start building them into. I tell my story. I tell them how did I made it from high school. What I was doing, the activity that I was carrying, which boosted my confidence, which improved my public speaking. So I try to share my stories every time wherever I am, so that I inspire them, I encourage them. I can even tell them we don't have a barrier despite of your background, because I grew up in rural areas, right? But you can say I'm taking a leadership of over 21,000 students. So leadership doesn't matter with your background, whether you grew up in rural areas, whether you're coming from a vulnerable family. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about you knowing yourself. It's all about your confidence. It's all about having passion in everything that you're doing. So for my peers, I normally encourage them. I engage with them every day. I support them. I support their strength. I encourage them to hold on their strengths. So I believe that a leader is someone who generates more leaders than followers.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, as a leader, you have to make sure.
That is powerful. That is powerful.
Yes.
That is powerful. Yes. Who will judge you with how many leaders have you actually generated?
I am already generating so many leaders from high school until in the university. I'm generating more. I encourage them. They mustn't have fear of taking leadership, especially girls. We still have girls who have fear to take leadership. So I encourage them. I have made it, why not you? You can even do better more than me. So that's how I encourage them. Yes.
Faye, you kept on speaking about you are not there, you're not where you envisage to see women in leadership taking or getting. From your vantage point in the education sector, in the development sector, what cultural shifts have you seen or would you like to see that make it easier for women to easily step into leadership positions?
Thank you, Clemens. As I'm answering your question, I think I want to just encourage other women leaders to tell their stories more. I know I've told you this before, and I want to emphasize it again. All of us have got a story to tell. And somewhere there is a girl child who is struggling with the same things we struggled with then, and found ways of navigating and finding a solution to those challenges. So the more we tell our stories, the more this can be able to help the next girl, the next child, to be able to realize their full potential and emerge to be the leaders we want to be able to see. Because those challenges we grappled with, they are the same today. And like you're saying, there are shifts which needs to be made in the narratives which are currently there for us to be able to realize as many leaders as possible. And as we have discussed earlier, the starting point is education. Education is a basic right for every child. And for us to be able to have the number of leaders who are women we are looking for, we need to start by being very intentional on how do we make education a reality for every child, especially those ones who are disadvantaged like girls.
Yeah.
And that would be our first step. And the second step, we need to be able to look at how do we then nurture this talent until to the end. Because so many times we see the girls starting, but they don't get to the finishing line. If we look at things like our statistics in Zimbabwe, you see that gender parity is okay in the primary schools. But do we have as many girls finishing their secondary school, their tertiary education, for them to be able to emerge to be these leaders? But I want to encourage the women that leadership doesn't need to wait until you then reach a certain point.
A certain point or
you
a certain
can
age.
lead. We are hearing Nonhlanhla here talking about leadership as she is learning. So let's see how do we use our talent, our expertise and skills, even as we are still traveling the journey, and emerge as the leaders we need to be able to be. That can also be very, very helpful. And I think the other thing is the women who are already leaders, let's hold ladders for each other to climb.
Fantastic.
Because we are leaders today because other people held ladders for us to climb through. And as we are leading, let's be very intentional. The tables we sit on, let's be intentional about thinking, you know, how can we have as many as possible here? Nonhlanhla at some point was talking about she was addressing 48 men and she was the only woman in that room. And this is not a very unique situation. We find it all the time in the spaces where we are leaders, that we still have got very few women. And that's why I was saying we are not where we want to be. Because most of those where policies, even for women, are made, there are no women to influence those policies. They are being made by other people to help women. So let's be there so that we don't get helped by other people. We are there to make decisions and help ourselves as women. But for us to be able to do that, we need to be able to hold ladders for each other, creating opportunities for each other, making sure that as many girls as possible are in school, and it's only us other women who can be able to make that possible.
Fantastic. Nonhlanhla, there is another young lady who is listening to you right now. Your last words of inspiration.
Okay. My last words, I encourage every young ladies to take leadership. Don't have fear. Believe in yourself. Firstly, respect yourself, humble yourself, and believe in yourself.
Fantastic. It just leaves me with nothing but just to thank Nonhlanhla, just to thank Faith for the wonderful insights. This is your show, The Power of Education, where we discuss, you know, the transformative power that is brought about by education. And today we were discussing education and women in leadership. And you have heard quite, you know, good insights there to then say, let's hold the ladder for each other. This is your show. My name is Clement Lizio. We meet again in other programs. Thank you. Bye-bye.